Before Bob Iger became the current and reigning supreme villain of Disney as a CEO, he of course was predated by Bob Chapek, who might go down as one of the worst CEOs of all time of any major company of this level. Now, Mr. Chapek himself strikes back and slams Disney. There's been a couple of things that Chapek has recently said, and all of them are pretty telling in regards to, well, his time there, but also some of the things that he's kind of dancing around. He seems to insinuate that a lot of the blame for what happened under his watch was people not listening to him, not following his rules, and that he was like too ambitious. Now, while I can somewhat agree, ever since day one, if you guys go back and listen to those podcasts and videos we made and discussions, we said this is the worst possible choice. He cuts costs, he cuts corners, he pressures people to work overtime for less, and he will be the death of Disney. Lo and behold, 3 years in, he was fired. And he seems to be very much against Disney. And some of what he said recently and how he's been talking about Bob Iger, how he's been talking about what it was like to work there, some of the mistakes that were made, the a whole shift in terms of the pandemic, some of the handling of the situations, which again, remember, he publicly was the one that went out there and was like, directors, screw you, Scarlett Johansson, screw you, sue us, what are you going to do? He seems to be shifting some of the blame on everybody else, which I don't think is really smart, because again, his time was not well received. Remember, it was him that was like, let's build this giant Star Wars land and charge $5,000 for a drink.
$5,000 for a drink.
Look, I don't want to go into in-depth on all of this because it's just kind of pointless, but what you need to understand from all of this is that Chapek really was the start of the downfall of Disney as they were and as they were ruling Hollywood. They've fallen far for many reasons. Now, it's not all his fault. Under Bob Iger prior to him, they also had plenty of misses. People will quickly point at Chapek and go, oh, he made every decision wrong. Look at how bad Star Wars is. Bob Iger was the one that greenlit The Last Jedi. So it's not all Bob Chapek's fault, and I don't want it to come off like that, but make no mistake about it. He's the one to blame for everything that happened in the last 3.5 years and where they are today, and the ridiculous price hikes and some of the deals that they missed out on and some of the licensing issues and product problems. It's all to him, because he was the one running it, and he was the one that was saying, who needs all these action figures? Don't worry about that. That doesn't make us money. When that literally makes them money. Crazy.